Alrighty guys, we're back for Froggy Tempo, and this is an Aetherdrift Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have 4 Valley Mightcallers, 1 green mana, 1/1 with trample. Whenever a frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Yeah, should be excellent in here. We know it does wonders in bunny rabbits, why not froggies? We have 4 Sunshower Druids, it's a 1 green mana, 0/2. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and you gain 1 life. Beautiful. We have 4 Mistbreath Elders. It's a 1 green mana 2/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. It's noteworthy that that does not say you may return. It's just straight up return another, right? Now, if you do, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Otherwise, you may return this creature to its owner's hand. Awesome. We have 4 Splash Portal. It's 1 blue mana sorcery. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. If that creature is a bird, frog, otter, or rat, draw a card. Nice. Got a couple spell pierce in here. Ought to do the thing nicely. We got 4 bounce off for some bounce spells. Not the only bounce spells packed in. We actually have all 4. This town ain't big enough as well. 5 mana instant. As you guys know, it costs 3 less to cast if it targets a permanent you control. You return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. So first of all, we got to do some rearranging. More often than not, this is going to be a 2 mana, hopefully great tempo play where we pick up something the opponent has, but also bounce one of our froggies back to our hand so we can go ahead and recast it out. So of course, the cards that we want to bounce back are cards like Sunshower Druid, but we do have more that we wouldn't mind bouncing back to our hand. Pond Prophet, for example, it's a 2 mana 1/1. When it enters, draw a card, keeping our hand nice and stocked up. We also have all 4 3-tree Scribes, which is a 2 mana 2/3. Whenever this creature or another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Awesome stuff. Now we're probably going pretty tall with counters onto 1 or 2 froggies on our board. So protection outside of cards like Spell Pierce are going to be pretty important, I would say. I'm opting for a Fae Flight. This is a 2 mana enchantment aura. It has flash. You enchant a creature. When this aura enters, enchanted creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Okay. Then also enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying as well, which flying could really come in handy. You know, we already have some evasion packed in with trampling creatures like Mightcaller, but I don't know. A nice big old chunky flying Mistbreath Elder or something actually sounds like it could really come in handy. Now, being an aura, being a permanent, this is also a card that we can target with this town ain't big enough too, so, and then be able to recast it as more protection in the future or something. Got a couple Clement the Worryworts here. This is a 3 mana 3/3 with vigilance. Whenever this or another creature you control enters, you return up to 1 target creature you control with lesser mana value to its owner's hand. Frogs you control have tap, add a green or a blue, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. It should do the thing nicely, honestly, but only 2 this time round because, because we got a couple Dreamdew Entrancers on the top end too. And this is another one where it's like, oh yeah, only 2 this time round, just because. Like, honestly, we could have 3 Clements pretty successfully and probably all 4 Dreamdew Entrancers. But anyways, this is a 4 mana 3/4 with reach. When this creature enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put 3 stun counters on it. If you control that creature, draw 2 cards, which actually isn't unheard of at all, because then you could just bounce that creature that you tapped down to your hand and then recast it anyways, which is what frogs really like to do. 3 stun counters is a lot. You're still probably going to hit your opponent's things quite often with this. So now, if we did have 4 Dreamdew Entrancers, we'd probably have to consider more mana because we have 20 mana in here. So even at a 2 of on the top end, we might struggle to cast this out, even if we are ramping with something like Clement on the board too. So in the 20 mana, we do have a Fabled Passage. Okay, we have a Hedge Maze. Okay, we are opting for early land with the Willowrush Verge, as well as the Botanical Sanctum. Got a couple Oakhollow Villages to work well with the froggies. So you can pay a green, tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on each frog, rabbit, raccoon, and squirrel you control that entered the battlefield this turn. Honestly, should really come in handy. Now you can see here, we are leaning towards the green. However, we are considering the Verge just a blue mana until we actually see an island or a forest or a Fabled Passage or a Hedge Maze, right? At that point, we have an even split between blue and green, so hopefully this kind of makes sense with what I landed in the mana base. Okay, honorable mentions, guys. Dour Port Mage almost made the cut. Long River Lurker almost made the cut. And Pollywallop almost made the cut. Honorable mentions for a very good reason. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? You know, I really want it to be good. But how come we never see anyone playing froggies anymore, man? Where are the frogs? No, I'm really hoping for something here. I really am, so. Okay. Opponent goes first, which is scary, but we do have some early bounce spells, so. Ooh, Golgari colors. Okay. Well, I suppose we start with the Mistbreath Elder. And then I guess we can consider Sunshower Druid and keep the bounce off open. See if Mistbreath Elder sticks around, though. Three Tree Scribe wouldn't be a bad turn 2 either. Okay, Mosswood Dread Knight Adventure Side. So we want to decline here, of course. Ooh, Valley Mightcaller. Okay, okay. Well, I'm not going to keep the bounce off open then. Let's get the Willowrush Verge down, which is just an excellent dual land right about now. Oh, almost went out of order there. Valley Mightcaller. Sunshower Druid. Let's boost the Elder. Because Mightcaller's already going to have a huge target on its back. Plus, this is an extra point of damage for the swing this turn, too. Then, of course, with the bounce back on the Elder, we're going to bounce the Sunshower Druid. Okay, third mana from the opponent. It's a Preacher of the Schism. Okay. Mistbreath Elder's a 4/4. Another Valley Mightcaller is pretty good, right? Yeah. Okay, Valley Mightcaller. Sunshower Druid. Yeah, the Valley Mightcallers still have the biggest target on their back, right? Okay. Bounce off is worth it because we swing for 9. It's a pretty big tempo play because they're going to have to spend another 3 mana next turn just to get the Preacher of the Schism back down. But look at this board state. If they do that, they're in danger, dude. For real. It's like they're going to spend some mana on spot removal now instead. Oh, okay. That was really good for them. However, I don't know what that last mana could possibly be here. So, swing for 7? Nice! Holy cow, dude. I mean, Frog's really doing the thing. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, this Pulse. Destroy target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name. It's pretty brutal, man. And that hits me hard every single time the opponents play with it too. So it's kind of one to keep an eye out for when we're playing against Golgari, but it's always one that I forget about too. There still would have been no real reason to not play the second Mightcaller though, right? Dude, we really can't ask for a better first game. Like I mean, the Frogs just really did the thing. Kind of speechless in a way. And we still had options in hand too. If we needed to have options, we still had some, so. All right, opponent goes first. Ooh, only an island. Yep, this is a mulligan for sure. And our entire top end is in our hand. Unless we want to count our 3 drops in our top end too, which I guess we kind of should. Did I just click keep? Oh, guys. I just misclicked. Oh crap. I don't know if I've ever misclicked like that before. Oh crap, guys. That was really bad. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Okay, we're not gonna get punished. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Dude, this was a mulligan for sure. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Dream Thief with Elisil Cores probably raised the past. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh dear. Okay, top end to the grave. I've definitely misclicked before, right? But I don't think I've ever misclicked the mulligan like that, or keeping a hand, because that's really bad. Don't look at my hand, opponent. No, it's embarrassing. Oh no. Of course it had to be a Deep Cavern Bat deck list, man. That's so funny. Jeez. Jeez. Okay, Mightcaller. Okay. Crap. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. What have I done? It's pretty funny, though. I mean, I definitely have to admit that. Lands, am I right? No. Misclick, am I right? Actually, I wouldn't mind. Yay! We got there, guys. Let's go. Okay, more mana. Dude, we're gonna pull it back. We're gonna pull it back. Totally, totally. Okay, yeah, just no blocks, right? Probably lose next turn. The opponent still has 2 in their hand, too. Funny enough here, we don't even have... Okay, I guess we could go Mightcaller, draw on the Pond Prophet, which isn't terrible, but also, like, this town ain't big enough. Could keep us in the game one more turn, right? Because we could block. Do I want to be in the game one more turn, though? I guess they have 3 in the air, too. We do have a trade into the Elisil Core, potentially. Right? So, okay. Oh, man. They are going to swing in the air. Oh, Sanctifier. Okay, they are going to go for the full swing. Nope. Never mind. Okay, we're going to try the trade into the Elisil Core with the Mightcaller, not the Pond Prophets. Right? Okay. That's probably fine. Down to 2. You guys like how seriously I'm taking this, even though realistically I should have just conceded after the misclick, or after getting punished for the misclick, I guess. Okay. If we saw mana, this town ain't big enough. We could have blocked on the ground, right? Then bounced our blocker, Deep Cavern Bat, back. Then this town ain't big enough. Bounce the other Pond Prophet and another flyer. Oh, it still would have been 2 getting through, though. So let's keep the Fae Flight open to fly in the air with a Pond Prophet or a Mightcaller. And also we're keeping the this town ain't big enough open too then. Alright, let's drop the Fae Flight so we can get a block into the Deep Cavern Bat. And then we can double block and then drop the good game for the opponent. I was looking for something else to say. Whoa there. There we go. Because they were having fun with their emotes as well, so. Dude, I can't believe I did that. It was pretty funny, though. I can't deny that. Alright, let's pay very close attention to the buttons that I'm clicking. That's the first thing that I gotta do. Pay very close attention. Is there a key on the keyboard to press for the mulligan? Maybe I should just focus on that from now on. Now I'm paranoid. Okay, this is the mulligan button. This is the keep 7 button. Couple mana, good. None of our early all-stars for froggies. We go first, though. I'd say this would be a weird mulligan, even though it's not the greatest hand. Yeah, it's fine. Blue source, green source, right? So, and at that point, we can... I guess it doesn't really matter. We get the Verge down. I guess it could matter depending on how much information we want the opponent to have, but it really, like, it doesn't matter that much. Based on these lands. Okay, they drop a Scout. I guess actually it does matter because now we have Bounce Off open, and I don't know if we'd want to tempo out something like an early Heartfire hero or something, since we didn't know what the opponent had. I think we'd still wait until they wasted mana on a Monstrous Rage anyways, so there's an early All-Star. I might just establish the 3-tree Scribe first, though. That would be the bounce back, though, from the Elder. Splash Portal could help us draw a little bit, too. I think I'm gonna get the 3-tree Scribe down. It blocks their 2-2 Scout. First of all, instead of like trading into it or something. Okay, another Scout. Also, Overwhelming Remorse. So Golgari Graveyard is pretty terrifying. They gotta keep gnawing vermin on top. Gnawing vermin, okay. So they go for some self-mill. Yep, this is actually a pretty scary deck list. So we can go Elder. Splash Portal the 3-tree. See if we draw mana. It's not terrible. It's definitely something. I don't plan on attacking because they have a great double block and they don't mind cards in their grave at all. Instead, we have to make sure we boost these. So extra counter. And we will of course put the counter on the Elder. We missed the mana. Is something we want to consider in here 21 mana? Maybe. We might want to consider 21. Right now, a third of the deck list is land. Sounds about right to me for what we're doing in here, right? Not a lot of top end. But still a lot of things we might want to do on any given turn. All right, I'll take the 2. I don't want to risk anything fancy from the opponent. And if they get another, like if we blocked and they get another creature into the grave, then their top end just gets even cheaper anyways. So I think we, yeah, just take the 2. Totally fine. I'm hoping they don't remove something now so we have protection open on our turn. Really hoping for mana off the top too. So yeah, we definitely have to consider 21, depending on if that happens a lot today. Souls of the Lost. Okay. Okay, so we bounce the 3-tree Scribe. Look at our Mistbreath Elder. Hey, mana off the top, also making the Verge an excellent dual land now too. Right, so I mean, Clement could come down, then we could tap for the Elder, but then we'd have 2 Elders on the board, which is a little awkward. Probably don't want that. Bounce off. This town ain't big enough. Fae Flight. Like, pretty much, I like everything here. The question is, what do we want to do? It's probably... my apologies, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. We go 3-tree Scribe. Keep the bounce off open. We have the swing with the 5/5. Then they attempt a double block and then bounce off does the thing, puts more creatures in their graveyard. Everything gets cheaper. This town ain't big enough, doesn't have any targets. You could just fly over with the Elder and try flying a few turns in a row, but kind of feels like we should keep protection instead. This is some tough decisions, man, for real. I think we're going to go for the swing, see what they do. Because they might just chump. They know we have the 3-tree Scribe. They go for a double block because they want creatures in the grave. Okay, they go for the triple block. So this isn't terrible for us as we go bounce off onto the souls. Now we take care of both of these, which is really good. It's too bad the Elder doesn't have trample because that extra little bit of damage could really come in handy. -1/-1. It is safe. And then we keep Fae Flight for protection. Right? I don't know. Okay. I'm going to keep Fae Flight as protection. Yeah, because Elder's a 5/5. Oh, a 2-mana Marauder. The discard is probably the other Mistbreath Elder, right? That makes sense to me. Right now, at least. Right, I am thinking correctly. If we had both Elders on the board, since they forced return another creature, we would just have to bounce both Elders. I think that's how that would work. Or it would come down to if we had another frog on the board too, I guess, right? So unfortunately, keeping the Fae Flight, not doing a whole lot. I was anticipating spot removal. Maybe I shouldn't have been. Maybe I was playing around a ghost. I think I might still cast the Fae Flight while we have it now. Right? It gets the Elder into the air. The Marauder is a flyer too, so it still blocks pretty well. I'm not a fan of this being stuck. Oh, 1 mana Overwhelming Remorse. No, that's my fault, dude. That's my fault. Oh no. Oh no. That's really bad. Crap. I should have just kept it, I guess, right? Dude, at 1 mana, I wasn't even considering like, we knew Overwhelming Remorse was in here, but my brain just wasn't computing the fact that it could be 1 mana at this point in the game. Brutal. Souls of the Lost. Okay. Yeah, establishing the Clement seems good. Okay, see, they still have 1 mana here. It could be another Overwhelming Remorse. I've learned that. That's what I've learned today. So I'm gonna just dump creatures. We're in a lot of danger. This town ain't big enough. Even if we bounce the Marauder, they can easily cast it, get that ETB again, which is brutal. We'd much rather bounce the souls if it came to that. If we did that, we'd want to bounce back like Sunshower Druid, maybe. Some tough decisions here, man, for real. Let's actually go Sunshower Druid. Okay, and then we boost the Worrywort, right? And now we'll have the this town ain't big enough. Man. Yeah. A little concerned about letting it pass to their turn. We could do it now and swing with the Clement too. Also, we could just use this mana. 1, 2. For a creature. No, I'm going to go for the swing. Let's try it. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Oh, Vigilance, too. So we can recast the Sunshower Druid. That's actually pretty decent, right? Or do we want to get the Mightcaller down instead? Dude, I don't know. I don't know, man, but my brain is melting. You know what I blame? The misclick. The misclick. I have something to blame today, guys. It's funny, though. I'm going to take the 6 here for sure. See what we can pull off with some froggies next turn. Now, the Sunshower Druid still made sense because of the Clement's ability. But it depends if they had removal. Man, they got big old chunky creatures, though, don't they? Dreamdew Entrancer is actually pretty good. Right? Tap down. Either one of those would be good to tap down. So the initial thought process here was we could go Sunshower Druid, then 3-tree Scribe, then use the Clement's ability. bounce the Sunshower Druid back, then tap the Mightcaller. Okay, yeah, I just talked myself into that, but still, we're going to have to chump next turn. The Sunshower Druid, I suppose. Oh, almost did it out of order, too. See, that's what I mean, man. What on earth? What's going on? All right, so if we're tapping the Mightcaller, we might as well go tall onto the Clement, I guess. But also going tall onto the... Yeah, the Mightcaller is going to be tapped down with this play, so... So we bounce the Sunshower Druid back. All in on the Clement could be really sketchy too, though. No matter what, we're going to have to chump somewhere. Okay, back up to 9. Even with my poorly calculated plays, Frog's doing the thing, bro, huh? This is cool stuff. So we have 2 chump blocks over here. And maybe... Okay, they go for it. Yeah, double block into souls. If I would have put more onto Clement, but we still... A double block would be pretty bad. Menace. Oh, no, Menace. No, why, Menace? Why? Okay. Death Touch cleaning up both of our creatures. We still have a Valley Mightcaller. I still got 3 cards in hand. Losing the Clement means we won't have the 4 mana for the Dreamdew Entrancer unless we draw mana. Oh, dude. This is a rough one, huh? I could have played this one out so much better, guys. Don't blame the poor froggies. All right? Don't blame the deck list. There is definitely a more optimized line. Another Souls of the Lost. So, there's no... Oh, another Souls of the Lost. Wow. Oh, we do find mana, too. So, you know, Dreamdew Entrancer is actually pretty good, but they got 30 power worth of Souls of the Lost. And actually, the best card to tap down would be the Marauder, because we can't block in the air, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Not with the opponent's current board state. So we can go no attacks. We'll do our best to block on the ground. But then they still have the swing in the air next turn too, unless we see tempo, but then they have 20 power swinging on the ground as well. Oh, we do find some tempo, but we actually don't have anything to bounce. So a good game opponent. It was a good game. Even though I had a lot of misplays, or just unoptimized plays, I guess we could call them, right? Like the ultimate greed play, where I tried the Fae Flight when they had 1 mana open. You know, sometimes you're so used to playing around a certain card like Cut Down or something, and it's like, oh, well, Cut Down can't hit this right now. I might as well utilize my mana, get my card in the air, or whatever, right? Especially when I ended up holding up the mana instead of playing other cards too. That 1 mana Overwhelming Remorse, that's scary business, dude. For real. We're 28 minutes in, guys. Make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Then also the YouTube side of things. If you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well, because it really does help out the channel. So thank you. What do you guys think? Let's do this, huh? No misclick this time. We're going for it. We're going for the 1 mana hand. No, I am really considering the 21 mana. I don't know what to drop yet for the 21st mana, but we're definitely... I'm to the point in the video where it's just like, more mana would be excellent pretty much every single game here, so... Alright. Mightcaller. Swing. If it wasn't triple Mightcallers, I think this would have been a mulligan. But triple Mightcallers helps us like sustain something powerful on the board for a few turns while we try to find the second. And then once we find the second, we can easily find our third with extra card draw on Pawn Profit and everything. Okay, that's a pretty scary board state you got there, opponent. We don't find it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going for the swing. We're in danger, dude. We're in a lot of danger missing mana this many turns in a row, so... When it finds their third... A couple monstrous rages and a fling ought to do it, right? We'll see. We'll see. We don't really see the Callous Sellsword fling that often anymore, which I always bring this up. It's very surprising that we don't see that. Oh, they got some burn. It's going to be Witchstalker Frenzy for our Chunky Mightcaller. Oh, no, not the Chunky Mightcaller. More burn. You might as well hit face, opponent, for real. Unless it was another Witchstalker Frenzy, of course, right? Hey, we found that mana. All right, guys. Now we draw on the Pawn Prophet, and Pawn Prophet's also a good blocker. And Splash Portal's pretty good. And we have to keep the Mightcaller as a blocker this turn, too. Yeah, triple Mightcaller. I don't know. Would you guys have risked that? I think it's pretty fun to risk it sometimes. And at this point in the video, too, after all these plays throughout all these different games, it's kind of like, at this point, we might as well continue being silly. You know what I mean? Emberheart Challenger. Uh-oh, one open mountain. Oh, dear. Down to 7. I guess we could easily die here no matter what. Yeah. So we try a chump on the Challenger, I guess. No, we'll try the trade on the Challenger because that's where they'd want to put the Monstrous Rage anyways. And I guess we try the chump to try to survive the turn too, but I think we're dead. I'm pretty sure we're dead. So yeah, all the extra prowess. So the chump on the Swift Spear makes sense too because of yeah, they want the trample on the Challenger. Yeah, okay. They were thinking about the unblocked Swift Spear there too. So it's going to be 1, 3, 7. Exactly, right? 7 damage. Ah, man. We did still do optimized blocks, right? Yeah, because even if we blocked the other Swift Spear, it still would have been 7 coming through. So, if we saw mana earlier, right? Maybe. I think so, actually. I think we actually could have gotten those Mightcallers above their burn spells, except the Witchstalker Frenzy. The Witchstalker Frenzy still would have been a terrific removal for them for a while, which honestly... So we see Witchstalker Frenzy in the Screaming Nemesis mono red, right? And Screaming Nemesis mono red is still the Mice mono red, right? I haven't been keeping up with the mono reds as well as maybe I should be. 2 mana, wowee. This is great. This is really good. Best hand of the evening, guys. Let's do this. We might actually start with... I want to start with... No. Mightcaller. It's always going to be Mightcaller first, right? I think there's an argument to be made for Mistbreath Elder because we're going to think about bouncing 3-tree Scribe, but that makes the most sense to me still. Plains. Uh-oh. What if my Mightcaller gets hit by an Elspeth Smite? I'd be so sad. I think we can easily get the Mightcaller above an Elspeth Smite, so maybe I should be patient. Elspeth Smite fell off a little bit for a little while, but then I saw it a lot more in the last couple weeks, so I'm going to play around it. Carrot Cake. Dude, that was an Elspeth Smite. I know it. I know it's in your hand, opponent. I followed my gut. Okay, 3rd mana. Great. That's good. Yeah, we got to go up to 21 mana, guys, because, yeah, every time I see more mana, I'm like, awesome. So, okay. On Prophet, see what we draw. Oh, temporary lockdown. Might not be in there because they got the Carrot Cake, though, so. Okay, I'm going for it. I'm not going to play around the lockdown. what we have to play around is Sunfall, and they are far from the Sunfall. They go for the chump while they have the chump, which I don't like that. I don't like that at all, so... third mana. And... whew, okay. No temporary lockdown. Dude, we're gonna end on a high note here. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I think I'd prefer... Yeah, we definitely bounce on Profit, because the 3-tree Scribe still gets the extra ability. I'm gonna go on to the Mightcaller. Okay, this town ain't big enough. Start with the card draw. Keep the Sanctum open. If we see mana, we could keep the village open, but I don't think that's worth it. Because if we miss the mana, then we won't have bounce off open and stuff too. We do find the mana. So we do have this town ain't big enough. If we wanted to bounce this turn, it's a little bit of extra damage. It's not terrible, right? It's not terrible. And I think I'll boost the Mistbreath to get around that Elspeth Smite. But then 3-tree Scribe still gets hit by it. It's still worth the swing now to get it out of the opponent's hand. Opponent? Where's Elspeth Smite? What's going on? My gut is always right. Beza! Dude, Beza's brutal, man. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Okay, all onto the trample. Dude, the life gain from Beza, everything about Beza is so rough. Wow, Fae Flight. Wow. That's pretty good. We'll have one blue open. We bounce off the Beza. They could play it again next turn if we don't have lethal. But if we're flying in the air with the Elder, right? 6 in the air, 7 on the ground. That's game actually. That's 11 if we bounce. If we bounce the Beza and they double block the trample. That's 11 getting through, man. That's crazy, huh? Nice. Awesome stuff. I'll tell you what, Frog's really doing the thing. Even if I couldn't really do the thing today, Frog's really doing the thing. And I'm proud of that. Darn it. Let's go over the deck list again, huh? This was fun. This was a silly video, though. This was a silly one. I completely blamed the misclick earlier. Froggy Tempo. Yeah. I liked this. 21 mana, that's what we got to talk about, though. Got the even split, 24 green sources, 24 blue sources. But the even split in the mana base doesn't look much like an even split. So there's the basics, right? But Oakhollow Village, why are we leaning green? Well, we're leaning green because we have all 4 of the Willowrush Verge. Now we're leaning blue if we treat Verge as just a blue source, right? But we're not. Well, we're not trying to treat it as just a blue source. Most of the time, we want this to be an amazing dual land. So we want the only if you see an island or a forest, or a Fabled Passage, or the one Hedge Maze as well, will also help you power up that Verge to be excellent. So even if we don't, and we are considering this just blue, and we're leaning blue all of a sudden, that's fine because you're going to want to keep blue open often for your bounce off, for your spell pierce and stuff like that too, for your protection spells. Fae Flight. So happy that I saw Fae Flight do the thing at the end there. That was so cool. Having exactly lethal damage against mono white. Excellent stuff, man. We could make the argument that I got lucky that we didn't run into a board wipe, but we were playing around Sunfall, and that was it. Sometimes they will have temporary lockdown, though, but since they had the carrot cake, I kind of figured, well, probably not temporary lockdown, but don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that they don't run it. They could still have easily had it there. So, for the 21st, man, I'm going to do the rearranging back to what it looks like. Yeah, we need the 21st because every single game I was like, yeah, more mana would be fine, right? So even once we hit the 4th mana, like we're still fine with that because you can do 2 mana things or a 2 mana thing and keep this town ain't big enough open. That's kind of important. What's the mana we go up though? Because we don't really want more tap land, although I wouldn't mind the second Hedge Maze. Works well with the Verge. 20 mana, drawing on Pond Prophet. This is a tough decision, dude. I also really like the double Spell Pierce, but this technically didn't do anything today. But if we think about those games too, there definitely could have been games where Spell Pierce came in handy. For example, the opponent's Witchstalker Frenzy in that one game. I don't know if they had 2 open after the fact, but I don't think they did. Also, Spell Pierce hitting Lightning Strike to protect a creature. Just protection for your creatures in general is pretty important. Splash Portal could be one that we maybe go down to 3, but it also kind of seems pretty important for what the deck list is trying to do and the synergies that the deck list is trying to provide. Fae Flight could go down to 1 because I wasn't incredibly impressed, but I might be more impressed once we actually see more mana too. So this is a really tough decision, man. Maybe like this town ain't big enough down to 3. I could see that. I could. Dreamdew Entrancer, the top end. That's probably a safe bet down to 1. We drop a rare, go up a rare. This could also be Painland, since we have a little bit of life gain with Sunshower Druid. But the Painland doesn't power up the Willowrush Verge to be able to tap for the green source either, where Hedge Maze does, and Surveil really comes in handy too. So how do we feel about this change? Why did I click out of the deck list? Here we go. All right. Yeah. 21 lands. We dropped a Dreamdew Entrancer. Went up more land. Should be fine. I really like Dreamdew Entrancer though. So it's a shame that we're dropping it, but a 1-of still makes a little bit of sense, and we don't necessarily need to use it as extra card draw. We're just using it as tempo when it comes down. Now it's just coming down on the top end every once in a great while. It's also a great one to bounce back to hand too, especially if you have the Clement on the board as well, using that as ramp. Dude, this one definitely melted my brain a little bit in some of those games. Froggy Tempo. Yeah, this was rough. This is one that I say practice is required for sure to find like the maximum or maximized plays or optimized lineups. This was cool though, man. Where's frogs? No one's playing frogs anymore. The other day we went up against bats and I was like, the whole time I was like, oh, they're Raise the Past. Oh, they don't mind this dying because they have Raise the Past. And then at the end, it was just bats. And it's just like, wow, nice. Because we saw so much bats back in the day, especially when Bloomburrow released, right? But then I haven't seen bats since. And every time I saw Orzhov running any bats, it was just Raise the Past deck list instead. So that was pretty fun from the opponent. And this is one of those things too, where if I see an opponent playing frogs, like just massive props, I'll just have a good time playing against some froggies at that point, because where are the frogs? Have you guys gone up against frogs? Have you guys been playing froggies? Definitely let me know in the comments. What does your frog deck list look like? Do you guys think I landed on something nice here? I actually think, I think it was pretty decent. And again, a lot of the losses, especially, could have easily come down to me, especially the misclick one. That was terrible. But if I didn't misclick and we mulliganed and found a better hand, and then also even against that mono red list where I kept the one land hand, I didn't have to do that. I could have mulliganed. I honestly did believe though at the moment with triple Mightcallers that it was actually keepable, because it should have been all too easy to find the second mana, and at that point we could have really started to pop off with the triple Mightcallers on the board too. So and being up against mono red with triple Mightcallers, you actually have a real chance until they get a chunky Heartfire hero down. And if they miss the Heartfire hero, you just got these amazing blockers. But more importantly, you can start swinging with the tallest one and keeping the other ones back as blockers too. So now that we got 21 mana instead of 20, maybe that hand is actually keepable and we will find that second mana all too easy, right? So yeah, this was fun. This was cool. I don't think the next set, I don't think Dragonstorm has any frogs, does it? I'm not sure. I have to go through and double check the card types in Dragonstorm. That's something I don't pay a lot of attention to when first looking through a set. I really got to double check the types. I don't think we're getting any new frogs, but I guess that's something to keep an eye on too, since it's getting so close to the next set. At the point that this video goes up, I don't know right now. I don't know when this video is going up, but we might be a couple days away from the next set at that point. So yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And actually, guys, in general, when we get so close to the next set or upcoming sets, be very cautious about cards that you craft and everything. And when the next set does come out, be very cautious about what you craft from the new set too, because no one realistically knows where the meta will settle. I would always wait a couple weeks to kind of see where it settles. I have a bad feeling that Esper Pixie is going to be around for quite a bit longer, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I guess you just never know. It depends. There might be some decks that pop up that just have incredible ETBs, and Esper Pixie doesn't like bouncing any of those or something. You know what I mean? So really depends. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? My goodness, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. You guys made it through all those misplays. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Seriously. I hope you guys still had fun with this today, too. I know I was having fun giggling through the whole thing, so. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, I will see you in the next video.